Everybody, is Jim Cermak from the Trade Show University podcast. I'm really excited to have you here today for a special training. This is going to be a quick training, but this could make or break the results from your next trade show. And this is all about how to pick the right trade show, or if you've already picked one, is this the right show for you? So in about a quick few minutes here, I'm going to go through 7 questions. They're going to help you to pick the right show or make sure that you have locked in the right show for you. And for some of you out there, you might not even be convinced that trade shows are the right thing for you. And for you, I'll just say, trade shows are the most powerful and most efficient marketing and business tool available, and nothing is even close. And if you're not convinced of this, at the very end, I'm going to have my contact information. You need to reach out to me. I will convince you of this statement, that they are the most powerful, most efficient tool available to you. But if you don't pick the right show, even the most powerful and most efficient tool can feel like this. Money just flying out of your wallet. I've worked with clients that have, Jim, I don't want to do trade shows. This is what it felt like to them. That's what they were envisioning, just money flying out the window, because they're not cheap. They're expensive, not only just in how much it costs for the booth, but if you have to travel, plus all the literature you have to print up, and you have to display pieces, and maybe you have to pay staff or hire someone to be there. They're not cheap, but I'm going to help you keep that money in your wallet and make money at the same time. So I've got 7 questions to make sure that you've picked the right show. So let's go into those questions. And question number 1 is, what's your purpose for exhibiting? You've got to lock this in. Maybe it is making leads. Maybe it's making sales. Maybe it's scheduling demos. Maybe your purpose for exhibiting is just to brand, get your company out there. Whatever it is, make sure that the show you pick can actually help you do that. And so maybe you're going to have to ask, can I sell on the show floor? Is that allowed? Is that common? Because if the people that are coming to the show, you may want to sell, but they might not be your buyers. They might not be the decision makers to actually make that purchasing decision. So make sure that whatever you're going for, whatever your purpose is, make sure it's tied into and you're in lockstep with what that show can do for you. So that's question number 1. What is your purpose for exhibiting? Question number 2, will your target audience actually be there? That's a great question. Assumes you have your target audience dialed in. Do not be that business that says, well, everybody's my target audience. I have something for everybody. No, you've got to niche down. You've got to have your target audience dialed in. And you've got to figure out who it is and which person at that company is going to be there. So let me give you an example. Several years ago, I was working with an upfitter of vehicles, and they had an opportunity to get a free booth. They had someone cancel at the last minute, and someone reached out and said, hey, I can get you this booth for free. It would normally be several $1,000s. Get you this booth for free. And it's a week-long show. It's an auto show. There's going to be over 100,000 people coming over the course of a week. And of course, eyes get huge. Wow, 100,000 people. That's amazing. But no, they're not really our target audience, because we build these specialty vehicles and people are there to see new cars, but they convince themselves, yeah, we got to be there. There's going to be enough of our target audience there. Well, sometimes even a free show is not a free show, okay? Because you had to have staffing for 7 days, long days. So you have all that missed opportunity of your staff not being out and selling what they normally do every single day. You also had booth pieces they had to print up, and literature and all these things that all added up to a very expensive, free, quote unquote, free show. And at the end of it, they had 3 leads and 0 sales came from it. So that was a huge miss, because they didn't dial in and they got enamored with this opportunity, which wasn't really a good opportunity. So make sure your target audience is going to be there. Now, if your target audience is going to be there, then you have to ask another question. And that next question is there a better show? Maybe your target audience is there, but maybe there's a better show in your industry where there's going to be even more people there, or maybe more of the decision makers are going to be there versus non-decision makers. Do your homework, do your research, and see what other shows are available to you. But once you got your target audience, you know they're going to be there, then ask question number 2. Question number 3 You have to ask, is the timing right? I've had clients that said, "Oh, I've got to do this show," and then they get close to the show and they realize, "Oh my gosh, this is overlapping another show where most of the people are going to go to this other show, and this is not going to be a great show." Or maybe they had an audit scheduled that they forgot about, and they scheduled the show, they put down their deposit, couldn't get it back. So make sure the timing is right. Make sure your staff can make it, the people that you need to be there, and make sure that there's not some other things going on that are going to take up your time. So that's question number 3. Make sure the timing is right. Question number 4, do you have the budget? And this is the biggest thing for a lot of people and a lot of businesses, making sure you have the budget. So you might look at a show and the booth costs X dollars, and you're like, oh, we can afford that. But you have to make sure you factor in every possible expense, because the booth, that's just the tip of the iceberg, as it were. So make sure you're not looking at just the show costs, but make sure you also factor in, is there carpet that you have to buy? Is there electricity if you need that? Is there, what other things do you need to invest in for the booth? Okay, now we've got all that booth expenses. Now, do I have to travel there? Okay, there's travel costs, meals, transportation, hotels, all that has to add into it. Okay, now we have to do you have a booth backdrop and banners and a booth stand and all that stuff? Or do you have to buy all that? All that factors in. And at the end of it, you've got a number. Now, do you have the budget for that? If so, great. Now you've answered question number 4. Do you have the budget? Question number 5 takes it a little bit deeper. And does the potential ROI outweigh the budget? Can you actually make money from this show? And so you have to look at the full potential of the show to make sure that your return on investment, the ROI, is really going to be there for you. Think about this. What is your average sale? How long is your sales cycle? Can you sell at the show? And what's your purpose for being there? That all ties in. What's your purpose? But look back at sales and think of it this way. If they're expecting a certain number of people, say 1,000 people are going to come to the show, and your average sale is $100, and so that's, if everyone buys one from you, then that's $100,000. But you've got your costs and all that. Does it actually make sense for you to be at this show? Or do you need a show with a higher potential? So that's question number 5. Does the potential ROI outweigh the budget? Do your math, do your homework, figure this out. Don't get caught on the back end thinking you had a great show and you lost money. That is question number 5. Does the potential ROI outweigh the budget? Question number 6, is there a quality booth spot available? Now, if it's a small show, just a handful of booths, handful of vendors, maybe every spot is a great spot. But if you got a show that's kind of like the one on the screen here, or maybe even bigger than that, not every spot is a good spot. If the only spots available are like in the far corners, on the far ends, or the outskirts of the show, I'll tell you this. While you might be able to get a lot of great traffic, the traffic at those booths is nothing near what the traffic is at the center, near the entrances, down the main walkways. It just isn't. So you might get somebody walking past your booth on the back far corner one time, but that same person might walk past some of the other booths a dozen times or even more. So that only gives you one opportunity versus 12 opportunities or more opportunities if you have a better booth location. And if that spot isn't available, but you still decide to be there, there's great techniques I can help you with on how to get more people to see your booth, even if you're in the back far corner. But that's question number 6. Is there a quality booth spot available? And it leads to our last question. And this is a real tiebreaker for a lot of shows. If you're looking at a couple different shows and where you need to invest your time and where you invest your money, what other opportunities for exposure out there? What else does the show have to offer? There might be some things that are no additional cost, like being able to upload your information, links to your website, links to show specials that are included in the package. And there might be other special sections of the actual show floor itself that give you additional opportunities for exposure. Things like If you have a new product, they might highlight all the new products in a special new product showcase area. So now you've got additional opportunities there. Or maybe you're a quote unquote green company or an environmentally friendly company, and they might have a special section just for that. And so people that are looking for, hey, what's new, they will go hunting that down on top of the opportunities for them to come to your booth. And maybe there's some marketing opportunities that are included. Maybe you can get featured in email blasts, get a banner ad on the website. There might be other sponsorship opportunities of varying dollar amounts that are available to you as well. So look and see which shows are going to help you to get more from your dollar. And that's question number 7, is what other opportunities for exposure are out there. So there's the 7 questions. Now let's go through a quick recap and see, how do you want these answered to say definitively if this is the right show? Number 1, my purpose for exhibiting is locked in. I know why I'm going. Number 2, my target audience will definitely be there. And I've looked and this is the best show for me. Number 3, the timing. Yes, it's right. Everyone's available. It's going to be great. Number 4, we've got the budget. It's locked in, put aside, ready to spend on this show. Number 5, the potential ROI definitely outweighs the budget. We have an opportunity to make huge money at this show. Number 6, there is, yes, a quality booth spot available, and we want to get it locked in. Number 7, there are great opportunities for exposure. If you answered this way, you've got the right show. And if not, you might need to do some homework and keep looking. You got the right show. Now let's make it your best show ever. Reach out to me for a free 15-minute discovery call. Jim@tradeshowu.biz. Send me an email, jim@tradeshowu.biz. Put in the subject line, free call. And we'll schedule a time to get on a call together and discuss the show. Every idea that comes up in this discovery call, those are yours to keep absolutely free, and see if it makes sense to really dial in and help you make this show the best show ever. And please connect with me. Look for Jim Cermak on LinkedIn. Send me an email, jim@tradeshowu.biz, and be sure to binge on all the episodes of Trade Show University. Go to tradeshowu.biz/episodes. I've got all the episodes there on one page and split by category so you can find quickly what you're looking for, and then listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, and a bunch of other podcast platforms. Make sure you're listening, you're binging, you're learning. So many great interviews and guests that I've had the honor to interview on that show. But again, you got the right show picked out. Let's make it your best show ever. Reach out to me and we can do this together and help you make more money than you ever thought possible. More leads, more sales. Let's do it. Thanks for checking out this training. You now have the tool to make your best show ever. Keep coming back to campus at Trade Show University.